come and save us. Bring that jacket good down with your head and knees did behave. There's trouble, they said. Getting rough calls from neighbours, close shavers. Bloody filled with shakers and breakers. Spending up our wages on aces and big cases. Gonna rip it up, on the waving up the faces. Keep these rooms alive till we see suns are born. Trashed at the party, baby, catch
and action!
Day of the set. I'd give you a tour, but I really don't know anybody yet. I'm still just looking around. I'm feeling very awkward with my hair.
Saskia, you just walk in a little bit for me, please?
Hating Alison Ashley, scene number 1, take number 1. Woohoo! JC, always the
Yeah, come on, hurry up.
This was my first movie that I've been involved in, and I've really felt such a difference because it is so much more attention to detail and you have so much more time on one scene from being on just some different TV shows. It's so quick and you don't even get 2 seconds to think about what just happened. So I really felt this was good because you could have a bit of time to think about the script, talk about each particular scene and where you've come from, where you're going to, and it was really a really big difference, but it was good fun, so I really enjoyed it.
The core class for the film. That means you have to be available for about 5 weeks, starting the 5th of April. If you are not available for that length of time, now is the time to say it, because otherwise you're really wasting your time and your acting. Okay? Okay, that's good.
We spent days and days and days doing auditions for all of the characters in both Sydney and Melbourne, and it was a long and exhausting process, really, but we feel that we've come up with fantastically broad, quirky, wonderfully warm characters.
I'm 15 years old and I read the book and I really like it. I read it ages ago.
I play the role of Crystal and I play Nicole, and as you can see we've both got probably the most intense outfits out of all the kids. We're real fashion victims.
Yeah, we're crunchies.
Yeah, ours is crunchy.
Crunchy.
I don't even know what it is.
You know how crunchies are blonde on the inside? They're like gold colour on the inside but brown on the outside? That is me and Crystal. We are blonde on the inside but brown on the outside.
Now I sound like a crunchy.
It's been a wonderful opportunity because we have tried to create as many different looks and characters as possible rather than keyholing it too much. And so when we go to our school, we have computer geeks and nerds, and we have, you know, the odd bimbo or himbo or sort of macho kind of character or slightly more punky type of people. So it's been a real challenge. The Yuck character was very complex because we wanted her to be a bit sort of grungy, a little bit daggy, but not too daggy. We wanted everybody to be able to relate to her on some level.
Don't mind us, we're just talking. So then you can check out how all of a sudden I have amazingly long hair and look 14. Morning.
How you going?
I'm good. I'm tired.
I'm just going to say what we're putting in now is a thing called Gaff Pot. It's like the concentrated part of hairspray, and that will not move. Like when she does this and then she puts the hair dye on, it will not move. The Barbie doll goes like, you know, and lift your knees up, and left, 2, 3, clap, and you do it like you exercise. Oh, I guess that's kind of cool. Like you know, for little kids. Like on my versus video and stuff. Yeah, where she's kind of cool. But it's Barbie. It's for kids. They can exercise.
Barbies are the best things.
I love them. I don't care what anyone says about them being
You know-
a bad role model or whatever. They don't talk. It's not their fault. No, but they're just out of proportion. No, they're not. They're just something that, you
It
know.
might not be with your body, Delta,
Yeah.
but with us they bloody are. And Alison Ashley is born.
With a touch of something about Mary.
But we're just doing some safety tips here with Delta and whoops. Hang on a
Looks like
second.
you've been looking after yourself.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I think we should interview some people. Let's go interview Hans. Hans, say everybody at home.
Hi.
Hans is looking after me while I'm on the movie set. He picked me up this morning and we're all like, and we couldn't even see properly at 5:30 in the morning.
Ralph, would you care to tell us about your inspiration for this particular set?
Well, it's twofold. One of them was Saving Private Ryan for the famous Omaha beach landing sequence. That'll be our opening shot. So this is the battlefield. And more importantly, being a Kubrick fan, this is like the tenement projects in Clockwork Orange. And all we're missing out on is a shopping trolley, but I think I've incorporated it over here.
I think the challenge when I read the script was that it's about a character who can be so aggressive,
How dare you? How dare you?
egocentric,
Possessions!
and rude.
Intelligent? Mum, where's your self-respect? He's so beneath you. Right, that's it. You go to your room now.
That the hardest thing is how you're going to get an actor to play this role and be warm at the same time. But it wasn't really my challenge, it was Saskia's, and Saskia did it. I mean, you immediately love her.
What if I never see you again?
Well, you'll have to make do with your semi-human offspring.
If you need anything, call me. Wear your thongs in the shower. I don't want you catching some fungal thing.
Oh.
Working with Jeff has been brilliant. For me, I think he's introduced a whole new kind of approach to acting for me. I felt like I have to kind of don a character and become a whole new character, whereas with Jeff, the way that he kind of sat me down and said, we've cast you as Saskia, we really want you to bring your approach and your flair for life to Erica, which is, her kind of melodrama, I guess I could put it into. The rehearsal period is a lot more kind of hands-on I found for Jeff than being on set. We, chatted and went through the script and exactly the way that I kind of really like to work, which is leaving absolutely no stone unturned. We just talk about everything. We, funnily enough, never said one line in character when we were doing rehearsals. But when we jump on set, Jeff's he's a very kind of modest, quiet gentleman, and when he does sort of say something, when he does comment, well, I find I just get it straight away, and that's all I need for the whole scene.
Now, if you turn those wheels in either direction, start rubbing your head and patting your tummy at the same time.
This is really not that easy, I'm sorry. I think it's 4 o'clock, that's chocolate o'clock by my watch. And I had a piece of fruit. This is my first day filming this week, and next week we're going on camp, and this week this is the scene that I first walk into the classroom. So hopefully it'll be okay.
Final checks, folks, final checks.
Final checks. Can I have the camera, please? It's now Delta camera. I'm going to walk out the back. Say hello, everybody.
There you go.
Hello, look, another hard day at work. Sharon Stone. We're a classy bunch here, Alison Ashley.
We certainly are.
Jean Kitson was just one of the funniest ladies I've ever met in my life, and she's so adorable.
A date like this is possibly one of my favourite dinners of all time. The less things in it that are real, the better I like it. You know, that little crunchy as you cut through that plastic skin. Probably one of my favourite things. Is there anything else? No, I do need to wipe my fingers on something. Oh, hi, JC. How are you?
Good, Jen. How are you?
Oh, thanks. There's a little S&M about Miss Belmont. She likes a bit of leather, not too much. She's a teacher after all. But I think, you know, it's fairly typical of teachers to have that S&M. My name is Miss Belmont. And you are the famous 9C. I think the crew called them the noise. Bring on the noise. Because it just is them. But, you know, they were all very good and very inventive, and they came up with some great ideas all the time. And it's wonderful to see them work like that. Oh, I just think teenagers are great. Until my own children become teenagers, and then I think I'll send them to some sort of kennel. The first couple of weeks, I thought, oh, this is very different. The film's very serious, and you have to be subtle. And then Craig came on, and then I realised, hey, no, it's the same as comedy in any medium. He's very funny and relaxes everybody on set, and that was a turning point for me, really, because everyone likes to have a laugh. I'm talking about between takes. If it was a serious take, I wouldn't necessarily fall over something. Craig would. Never do a scene with Craig. Actually, that was some of my best times working with Craig. The sex scene in the cabin, and it wasn't even in the script, but it was fun. Cut that bit out.
Ah, Alison. Jeff Kenner, PE. I put the phys in physical education.
We've made him a PE teacher in the film, and I was pretty excited about that. And I based him on a couple of PE teachers from my own experience as a kid. And I had a teacher who had the kind of 70s quasi-porno tash. He wore shorts that were always just slightly ill-fitting, on the small side, that is.
Oh, no, you'll be editing that out. Right.
And he always had whistles and bells and stopwatches and keys and stuff around his neck.
Glorious 9C.
He was the sort of guy that really tried to be a friend to the kids. But how he went about that was he went about it in the most big-headed sort of fashion that the kids just laughed at him.
And you watch. When they finally lift the ban and play out the schools, we will rip through this district like a fart.
It's a secret to becoming a really good guitar player. It's just sitting around on sets all the time doing nothing. A 15-hour day, 10 minutes filming, and the rest of the time... Thank you! Big Lakes! Where the hell are we? What lakes is it? King Lakes! You rock!
More, but we should do that. Just put a little bit there so it looks like it sparks up there first.
Yeah, I think so.
And then you can just turn it around.
In that moment where he kind of takes
the
look, the realisation, I'll roll my arm and hopefully
it lights up. We'll put a little trail there so it'll light up a bit, all right?
Oh, yeah, I love seeing Craig McLachlan burn.
Well, we've put all safety precautions into place. We've got the water gel, the impregnated sleeve that's already been treated with the water gel that goes over his arm, over the top of a bandage as well, and then we put the wardrobe on and light him up.
Luckily, you and I have practiced with all that hot wax.
That's right.
Don't tell them about that.
Right, George, if we go? Okay, here we go, folks.
Watch where the wind is, Craig.
Yep. You guys, I suspect. Yes. You guys listening?
The thing is not to panic in a situation like this. You just stay calm. You know what you're thinking? You're not fun.
This is very odd.
You see, we haven't really seen much of Barry Alison.
No.
I'm really elusive.
Yes, this is Erica Yerkin's love. Say what? We have to kiss.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Great.
And
This is my lover. We have to kiss.
It's funny. What works on the page and what you love on the page doesn't always work on the screen. And we've tried to find a lot of different stuff with Barry for the film because his role is a lot larger than in the book. And we wanted to show his soft side that he keeps very, very, very well hidden, you know. You didn't need that in the book. He was just Yuck's enemy in the book, and he didn't play as huge a role. In the film, he's actually got a much larger role.
Hey, don't you think you're being a bit rough on the gherkin? What? Look, I'm getting in touch with my feminine side.
With Jean, Craig, and the kids in the class, I would improvise because there was, especially with the kids in the class, because there was nothing written for them. So yeah, a lot of it is based on that, but it's pretty tightly with the script. But they'd improvise around it. It tended then to loosen up things a little, which is the way I like to work.
Someone help Kennard!
All right.
There was one particular moment that I don't think I'll ever forget. We were shooting the barbecue scene, and all I had to do in this particular shot was lie on a hammock. A guy, Alex, who was playing my friend, what he had to do was come and plonk himself down on the hammock with me. And that was it. And as he was coming towards the hammock, and I thought, oh no, it's going to happen, so I just hung on for dear life, plonked himself down, the whole thing did a 360 and went over. He went over on his head, I went over and landed on my front, and I was wearing a tiny skirt as well. I think the crew saw much more than they bargained for. It was awful. But I just, got up straight away and went, yeah, I'm fine, I'm good. Let's not worry about it. Let's just, keep going. Next scene,
Being a stand-in, you get to go on set and do all the lighting before all the main cast come in. And then you get pushed out of the way and get chairs taken away from you because the director.
People could come in. We're pretty much the lowliest of the lows.
Yes.
But no, we have fun. We get to hang out with the crew and the...
Yeah, be here every day while all the extras are in the corner and...
Yeah, we kind of look important.
Yes.
And I've been chased down the street because people thought I was Delta, and I was really excited.
She looks so beautiful.
Except I have skanky wig. Skanky? No. Skanky.
Dockland Studios were opened just before we started filming, so we were able to utilise that facility and be one of the first Australian films to go in and shoot there.
Got that. Bye.
Already 2 minutes behind. Not happy, Jan.
Nothing, hi.
We're here on the set of Hating Alison Ashley to meet Delta because Ashley was granted a starlight wish, and her wish was to spend the day with Delta Goodrum.
We're on the making of Alison Ashley, I'm guessing, so... Hello, these are my friends here. Introduce, this is Ashley. Hello. Taylor, say hello. He's been encouraging Craig to do bad things. Bridie, she's been completely terrorising the cake over there.
This has been the best experience of my life so far.
And we're freezing our butts off.
Yeah.
We were after a particular look for the picture. I wanted this film to have a big film look. And I've had a long relationship with a director of photography called Steve Newman. I'd spent some time chatting with him about what was possible on the budget that we had in relation to my grandiose ideas. And because we're friends, he said, look, he could make it happen. And so Steve's a man of his word, and true to that, he has made it happen. I mean, I think that we've been fortunate, and we have a film that has fantastic production values, and he's beautifully lit all the sets and the actors, so the film will have fantastic screen presence.
What we wanted was something that was a mixture of quite a number of styles, because there's natural film, but there's also fantasy elements. So it was a kind of a fine line between getting a balance between those two things, but also making sure that the naturalistic elements weren't too rough looking, because we wanted something that was fairly polished. So it's really a combination of all those things.
Because the film had a lot of fantasy scenes and also needed normal dramatic score. The film had two dimensions as far as the approach from the original music point of view. We came to the conclusion that the best would be to do the fantasy scenes with over the top, very lush and very orchestrated, in a way like taking the fantasy to another level. And in these scenes, I use full-size orchestra with, with big brass section and a sort of obviously very big string section. I think orchestra can take people to this another world, and that's what we wanted to achieve. But obviously there was another side to the film, which was just writing normal underscore for the dramatic elements, and that involved much more delicate approach, because I had to remind myself that this is a film about two teenage girls.
Maybe she had a problem at the restaurant.
I loved being on location at King Lake and the night shoots with all the lights on the trees and the backs of the vans open and full of interesting equipment and those big spotlights and scrims and, all these cranes and cameras and people talking to each other on a walkie-talkie. Yeah, I'll get over there, right, Spiller, come in, JC, okay, all this stuff all happening everywhere and trolleys and cables, and I just think it's so exciting. It is really, I absolutely adore film.
And about being a gentleman.
Been working with Saskia Burmeister and Delta Goodrum.
It's been fantastic.
Shocking.
Would you like to take a seat?
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Just to get out of the shot. See, there we are. Hey, Sass.
Hi, honey.
So, Delta, it is your second last day. It is. How do you feel?
I feel very, very sad right now.
Oh, honey.
Because it's just sad. It's like you work on something for ages, get to know everybody.
Okay, guys, if we'd like to stand up.
Spiller.
Thank you, guys. Sorry, excuse me. Thank you, guys.
Last shot of the day.
Last shot of the line.
Last shot of the film. I'm very, very sad actually, to tell you the truth. It's nice to end on a really fun scene that we can just enjoy.
Okay, and the paparazzi go crazy. And that was Delta's last shot.
I'm feeling rather sad right now. I'm feeling quite, I can't really leave because I feel like, I can't wake up tomorrow and go to set or anything. So it's on to the next chapter, but I can safely say I have extremely enjoyed this one, and I'm so glad that this was the first work that I got to do after being in hospital for a year. And to be able to be here doing a great movie with some amazing crew members and amazing cast members, then I'm very, very lucky and very fortunate. So I can't wait for the movie to come out, and I think it's going to be a wonderful Australian classic, I hope, because everyone's worked so hard. So, to everybody, over and out.
I've had a ball, I've learned so much, and you've all been unbelievable. I'm honoured to have worked with you.